I want to speak out my mind and my heart. I'm Akol Hellen Odeke. I'm a born of Bukedea, Kachumbala, Komuge sub-county. My problems began when I contested in Bukedea, where I'm born, as a woman member of parliament. I contested alongside with the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Among, Anita. Like any other candidate goes for nominations when you are contested. But in Bukedea, it's a different story. I was issued a court summon before nominations, and I said, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any case. Actually, those problems began from October 2020 up to March 2021, when I won the case. In all that time, I was standing in the courts with the unknown person, Okodel Humar is a man. I've never seen in Uganda where men contest for the position of woman member of parliament. But in Bukedea, for the first time, a farmer whom I got in touch with later, I said, who is this Okodel who can hire international lawyers like Alaka? When I got in touch with Okodel, he was so shocked. He said, I have heard all this, but where do I get money to take you to court? I'm an illiterate. I cannot even contest for that position. Where do I get the money? And even if I had the money, I cannot contest as a woman member of parliament. So I asked him, how did this woman get your national ID? He said, for us, we go looking for jobs. I went to look for a job as an askari. And there they want your national photocopies of your national IDs. Maybe that's where my copy of national ID was got from. But me as a person, I have never done that. So that's when now the FDC party came in and said, for you to manage this lady, join FDC. You have a good ground, people like you, but this woman is likely to come up with cases against you, of which you cannot handle as an independent. Honorable Muriat called me and said, my sister, come to my office. So when I went there, he said, there's no way you can manage this woman as an individual. Join a party. Because for us in the party, we have lawyers. I received now a call from Honorable Nandala saying, you have been issued with the court summons. Receive it. I said, I'm not receiving. I don't have any case. Said, no, you received that summons. We are going to support you as a party. So the day of going to court, we were seated out. The lawyer, my so-called lawyer, entered inside. He said, I will call you. Instead, he came out and told me, court is done. I said, but how can you go and handle it alone without me? I've come all the way to court. Said, but I've already handled. I said, but no, that's not fair. I needed to hear. I needed to know the reason as to why I'm in court. And I wanted to see you defending me. Said, it's already done. So, one of the people I moved with, whom the other group had not seen, was spying. What are they up to? So that one came and told us, these people are after kidnapping you. So what I did, I told the lawyer that I've got information that I'm going to be kidnapped. I entered his car. I told my team, follow me. So I told them to follow me closely. These people chased us. We had to leave this road from Soroti, Mbale Soroti Road. We had to pass via Toroma, crossing the lake, Awoja. And then we got to the ferry. They got stuck there. They feared now water. He called me himself, Nandala, and he said, can you, there's something he wanted me to give the lawyer. So I gave the documents he wanted me to submit to the lawyer. I submitted. Said, now, this lawyer is going to defend you, and I'm going to be there myself. I said, no problem. There was a designated day for nominations, and then countrywide, so many people still had problems with names. So I appeared in court that day. One, they said I wasn't a registered voter of Bukedia. How did they arrive into that? I got registered, and they went and paid money to the people who were registering to remove my name from the register. Little did they know that by the time she opened that case, she didn't know that my name was back in the register. Second case, that I didn't have a national ID. So what do these people do? That day, they had adjourned court. So as I was preparing now for nominations the following day, because they called me, they said, we are giving you the second day. So I said, no, let it be the first day. So when I communicated to Honorable Nandala, he said, it's fine. I received a call from the lawyer that you have a court case tomorrow. I said, but tomorrow I'm supposed to be nominated. I called the Honorable Nandala. I said, you go. Personally, I'm going to be in court with the lawyer. We are going to defend you. The next day, I was set for nominations. I went with my team. I even met Honorable Anita coming out for how she had been nominated. So, reaching the table, I was issued with a court order. When I called the lawyer, he could not pick me. I called the Honorable Nandala, he could not pick me. I was in a total mess. Every person around me, the electorate, were all in a total mess. So I dashed there, only to be told, court is done. Came back to the returning officer to stamp on my nomination forms, and I dashed to Kampala Electoral Commission. And then the other women who got nominated, and they also opened cases against them. As I told you earlier on, that my lawyer had wanted to handle all of us, but they were not interested. I saw those women just going silent. They went silent, and that's how Among Anita was able to deceive now the whole world, Uganda as a nation, and even the president, that she has come out unopposed. And yet there was an ongoing case towards the elections in Bukedea. The judge who was handling my file passed on, and according to the law, they are supposed again to get another judge to handle. So by that time, I had already given up, that let me settle down and do my own things. I settled down. I left. I said, the lawyer you can handle. I don't know when the ruling is going to be. I forgot about it. The ruling of the Court of Appeal, it coincided with the death of my sister-in-law, who also died in Kampala. So after winning that case, there was also happiness, at the same time sorrow, because of the loss of my sister-in-law. So I put a radio announcement, which people of Bukedea got to hear about it. And I received calls from them saying, on the day of the burial, we are coming to condole with you. And indeed they came. So after lowering the body, as I was now coming to prepare, see how people can get meals, only to be approached by that group of people who heard over the radio, and they were able to come and condole with us, approaching me in a big group. They said, before we greet you, before we do anything, we want to tell you something. It's bad news, but we happened to get people in a meeting planning to assassinate you today. So I said, why would she kill me? I was so annoyed. You are in tears. You have just lowered the body of your sister-in-law, my only sister-in-law. And you are again told you're going to be assassinated. I was so annoyed. I started, they told me, see that vehicle parked in the bush there. That's the vehicle of the assassins. I went home to home, house to house, to look for these people. I was bold enough, out of anger. I said, I must see them. Indeed, when I went to one home, I entered into the sitting room because I heard voices. I said, they must be here. I entered. The first person I see was a bishop called Wabwire. I asked him. I knew him, but I asked him, what is your name? I pointed at him. And he said, I'm Bishop Wabwire. I said, Bishop, you're crucifying Jesus for the second time? what have you come to do here? All the way from Kolir up to here. I've known your plans. When I looked the other side, yes, I saw the hired people now with red eyes. I came out, now going to inform my people. I just saw these people with all the food which was on the table. A lot of food, chicken, I don't know how many chicken was slaughtered. Rice, matoke, meat, full table. But these people took off without eating. They took off at a very high speed. They left Kolir. That's where the speaker Anita comes from. And that Bishop Wabuire and others. But his face, and is the one I pointed at, being a bishop. Call yourself a man of God and you accept to be used. Other things followed. She's already a speaker of parliament. Let me settle my mind. I told my husband, I want to go and establish our home. Did a lot of agriculture. My husband has other siblings. There are 3 boys. So before their father died, they had divided land amongst the 3 boys. Another war came from there. We had started struggling with these brothers of my husband. They were fighting now for land. So my husband said, no, let me bring in the clan. After they came and destroyed our land, crops, we started now the journey of clan meetings. We are being attacked. One time, we just saw one of the nephews for my husband, for the stepbrother, came with a panga and said, today, you're not going to survive. This night, you're going to be killed. And we had visitors. That same night, after coming back from police, making statements with the visitors we had, we came back home at around 9. We were just seated now after supper. There was moonlight. We were seated outside. Then we saw a vehicle stopping, and we saw people jumping out. And remember, they warned us that today you're going to be killed. We entered inside, we locked. There were many sticks, pangas. We said it. We went to police. We were not seeing any help. So we decided to call the RPC of Lira. So he also acted very fast and called the DPC, because we didn't know the DPC's number. He called the DPC. Can we intervene? These people are being attacked. So the DPC called me. So I told the DPC, I'm hearing the voice of LOC1 chairperson in that group. Said, do you know his number? I said, yes. So quickly, I gave the DPC the number. Then he said, remain on. So he spoke to the LOC1. He said, what are you doing in somebody's compound? So that one started panicking. When he heard that's the DPC, started panicking. Said, I'm here with the deputy mayor. So said, give the deputy mayor the phone. The deputy mayor said, we have been We have been sent. We have been sent that these people are surveying land. The DPC said, surveying land at this time? But have you found them surveying? That no. Where are they? That they are indoors. They left, but they deployed others now there the whole night. You come out for a short call, they are throwing stones. So the next day morning now, we went and again made statements on that also. Police could not act. Maybe that let's carry out arrests, maybe since the LOC one, these are government workers. Let these people be called to answer. Nothing was done. 2 days later, as we were there was construction going on. And then we saw again a group of people coming with a councillor that were being directed by the RDC to stop you people from constructing. So my husband called the DPC. So the DPC called the LOC1. Go and tell the other one to stop the other side, and then this one, this side. Nobody should cross the road. So the construction went ahead. We said, now let's listen to the voice of the DPC. He has known the whole story. He has known how we have been even involving the clan. So what happens? We completed now the toilet. What do these people do? They came at night and started demolishing the toilet while shouting, Anita, oh yeah, Anita, our president 2026. I said, is it because she's my opponent that they are now using her name and to make me keep quiet or what? It could not come to my mind that she can get involved in such. So when they were there saying, Anita, wait, for me I knew that because much as I won the case, she's now there. So it was a way of hurting me. That is how I took it. We had cultivated 3 big gardens. Each garden has about 3 acres. Millet, maize, in all those 2 gardens. What do these people do? They come and cultivate at 2 a.m. I was getting up to go for a short call. Then I had some movements, only to look through the mirror. There are about 6 ox plows plowing. So my husband touched to make them know that we are aware. That's where now they started at first they were silent. They started now shouting, Anita, oh yeah, Anita, oh yeah. You have tried going to police. What has police done? For us, we just go and sign and take tea and come back. We were stranded. We got stranded. So the day they demolished the toilet, I was out of home. I didn't sleep. It was my husband, one of our daughters, with the builders. So in the morning, because my husband called again the acting DPC, the other one had gone on leave, that we have been attacked again. They have demolished, they are demolishing our toilet now. So he said, no, there's nothing I can do at this time. You come tomorrow in the morning. So he was there by 7, and I also went there by 7:30. I was there. And these people, when they saw him leaving home, they came now and completed their, because they went halfway at night. So the morning now they came now to complete breaking now everything. These people demolished this toilet up to midday while shouting, chanting, Anita Oye. So when I reached police, I said, up to now, when it reached 9, I said, what's happening? Up to now, you're not going to arrest these people. They are in the act. They are demolishing. The OC was quiet, looking at me with sympathetic eyes. So when I said I'm going to skip naked and walk in the streets of Kumi to fight for our justice, it's when the OC beckoned me. Said, Madam, your things are political. Our hands are tied. The order is from above. I said, above where? Didn't you contest with the Speaker of Parliament? I said I did. But this is not the time for politics anymore. He said that you're going to contest 2026. That's why all that is being done to you. I said, really? So, following after him confessing that to me, the same night, they came now to plow the gardens. We said now, let's just go maybe to the regional now. Because here we cannot be helped. So we went the following day morning. We left them now plowing. We went. So the RPC had put his phone on loud. He was so concerned. He said, what is happening? He called the OC. What is happening in Ikumi? How can all these things happen to these people and I'm not seeing any action being taken? Phone was on loud. He said, sir, there is politics in that case. The RPC said, no, we should not bring in politics in this kind of issues. Said, sir, there are politics in it. So the RPC told us, go and make another statement for what has happened again. And I want to see those things done. I want them to go and do community policing. Nothing was done, even after the RPC talking all that. So the day they demolished the toilets, the house has the windows with the mirrors, glasses. Recording was going on, which we have it. The LOC one was among the people in the group demolishing. The same LOC one could attend even the clan meetings. But because the order was coming from above And I think some of them were even given money. We saw him getting involved there. It was on camera. So when it reached midday and police was not acting, when demolishing was going on, when I threatened to skip naked, and then he told me the order is coming from above. That's when now they said, okay, now let's send the police there. Let's send the police there. So they were able to arrest, but we found they had already finished their demolishing, and they arrested 2 people who were seen in the camera, but not my in-laws, who were directly dealing now with her. So those people were arrested. They bailed them the following day, and that was the end. So those files were taken to the state attorney, who decided just to throw them. They just said they dismissed, and we just remained there. We remained there. We had nowhere to go. Where we thought we would get justice, we didn't find. So she kept monitoring me now. So when she realized that she had now left the village, she was now satisfied with what she wanted. Our land grabbed, toilet demolished. Up to now, we don't have a toilet there. We just go, come back. We don't stay there. That's when I received a call from her. I've been looking for you. This man, it's called who? Emorut. And earlier, before she called me, Emorut called me that, Honorable is looking for you. She has some news for you. I said, what news? She wants to give you a job at Parliament. I told him, let me hear from her herself. So he told her, and she called. And she said, I've been looking for you. I have some appointment letter for you. You can pass in my office. Go to my secretary. I told her I don't need that job. Then she said, why? I said, I cannot work in the crowd. So 3 days passed. Someone from Palisa calls me, called Okoboy. He said, I was with the Honorable. She said, what you discussed with her, it's fine. She's okay with it. When I said, I don't need that job, there are only 2 things that I need from you. Number 1, an apology for what you did to me. I asked her, do you know what you have done to me? She said, yes. So I said, if you know all what I have gone through, going through court, my property being damaged, my name damaged, I need an apology from you. 2, if you can compensate me, well and good. But remember, you're not buying me off. But for peace to prevail and also for reconciliation, purposes of reconciliation, you can compensate me because I've lost a lot. You are in debt. fighting for something which you don't deserve. So, Okoboy says she's okay with it, that you travel with come with an elder. I was already in Kampala, so I called someone that come. I first discussed with my husband. My husband said, if she's saying it's fine, she's ready to apologize for what she has done. It's okay. Go and meet her. So I received a call again from Okoboy saying that you can come alone. But I already called somebody who traveled all the way from Gulu. You can come alone. In my heart, I said, why? I was noting each word. Then in the morning, Okoboy calls and tells me that let's meet in Mugolobi. Go and have breakfast at Bamboo restaurant. Order for anything you want, it will be paid for. I moved to Bugolobi, but in my heart I said, are they the ones to tell me where to go and eat from? I went and to another restaurant. I had my breakfast. Okoboy calls from the other restaurant. Where are you? I'm not seeing you here. I said, Okoboy, I've not come to eat. Come, I'm in such and such a restaurant. Come, and we sit and tell me what we are supposed to do next. Okoboy was complaining. Not complaining, but quarreling. So he came where I was and he continued with his quarreling. Why didn't you eat from there? That's where we send our people. I said, Okoboy, you're from Palisa, I'm from Bukedea. I know what happens in Bukedea. So please, what we have come for, tell me the way forward. So he said, okay. She said, we sit down and write whatever you lost. We sat down. I had now my person, my son-in-law. We were together. So we saw Okoboy stepping aside. He came back after talking on phone to tell me that we are supposed to go to Captain Mukula's home. I said, to do what? He said, no, Helen, let's go. Maybe she's coming there to meet us there. So my person said, let's go. So we went. We sat up to around 1. That's when now we were called in to meet Captain Mukula. So he said, okay, now you can read whatever you have written down. So Okoboy was the one who was the secretary. He noted all those things. He read it to him. And then he said that the total was 1 billion. And then Mukula said, no, that's a lot of money. It can't exceed that. It can't exceed 100 million. I said, really? What I have lost? It's fine. He said, okay, I'm going to discuss with her. I said, but where is she? So we went to a cafe. We wrote a memo. In that memo, I said, for purposes of reconciliation and peace, number 1, I need an apology from her. Number 2, she has to compensate me. 3, she has to support me in another constituency. So, what happens? Information reached her. The LOC3 of Komuge is the one again bringing that woman. So she, I think, made an order for the sub-county offices to be closed. So the LOC3 didn't know anything. When they called him and told him that your offices are going to be closed, you're needed. So when he went there, they made him sit down. Then information circulated the whole sub-county. People came running because he's also a person loved by the people. So ask them, what is the reason of closing the sub-county offices? Because that one is the one he was seen with Helen. So now people started now exchanging. They said, what's wrong with seeing her with Helen? Number 1, she's a born of this place. How can they stop her from coming to her home? Secondly, she's not the only educated girl. People are educating their girl children. So she's not the only one who is supposed to contest. Why can't she allow other women to contest? So people rioted, and that small group of people, about 7 of them, had to take off for their lives. I didn't know anything, I had not heard anything. Then, when all that confusion now started, I started receiving calls. I was in a meeting. I started receiving calls. Are you hearing what is happening in your place? Do you know what is happening in your place? I said, I don't know. That there's a lot of confusion in your sub-county. I said, it's okay. I'll handle it. 3 days later, burial again came at my in-laws' place, where my sister is married, still in Komuge sub-county. I went now without moving with anyone. I said, let me go as a person to show Anita that I'm loved. I went. It was a bushfire. People were just mad. When I stood to give a speech and told people, I don't want you to be deceived. I want you to know your rights. Let's not accept these laws which are being made in Bukedea. 3 days later, again after that burial, the sister of Obore Chris died from Mulago Hospital. I knew the mother of Obore that time, 2018-19, during campaigns. I would move here and there. And that old woman fell in love with me. She took me to her home, told me the suffering she's going through. I don't want to talk much. So I received a call early in the morning. My phone opens by 6:30. Opens, closes by 10:30 by itself. then opens by 6:30. Immediately it opened, a call from the mother of Obore. My daughter, I've lost my daughter. She died in Molago. She has left me with small kids. Come for this burial. I said, you don't have to tell me, I'm coming. But I went knowing that, yeah, Obore is not going to be happy with it. So when I reached there, I went straight to the old woman in the tent where the casket was. I hugged her. It was a shock to Obore. He didn't know that I knew his mother. The RDC was there, Anita's person, who is a tool being used to terrorize people. People are suffering. They forge a case against you, you're a thief, and then you're taken to prison. That RDC she's working with. And it's from my place, Kachumbala. So they were all shocked to see me there. But the DPC was there, the OC Bukedea was also there. I saw now the time when they were taking money, condolence for the orphans left. I saw the RDC going to whisper to the MC. I knew. And the family saw it. And the family wanted me to be given time to speak. But they had told the MC not to allow me. So they called the RDC. Please, Papa RDC, come and introduce the team of people you have come with. So he went together with the DPC and the OC and other people. He introduced them. When they went back to sit, he held now the mic. And he first of all began with government programs. Then he started now attacking me direct. He said, Anita is the Speaker of Parliament. This position has been in Busoga for 20 years. Now it's the time for that position to be in Bukedea, also in Teso for 20 years. But there is this woman, how do they call Kisirani? This woman with the Kisirani. She has been given money, she has refused. She has been given a job, she has refused. What does she want? I'm going to deal with her. I was quiet. So the MC was touched. So the MC told him, you're taking a lot of time. Can I invite Chris also to introduce the team of people he has come with? So Chris came. The MC said, before I give you the mic, this is what I want to say. I'm a born-again Christian. When you call me for this kind of occasions, I don't want anyone who comes and begins whispering to me, don't allow so and so to talk. If I have allowed you, why don't you want me to allow others? A person has come all the way to condone with the family. She might be having something there for the orphans. But you tell me, don't allow her. So before I give you the mic, I want Honorable Akol to come and greet her people. I stood and there was a lot of joy. People were shouting, and that is her area. That is her area. I told the people, this is a Kisirani woman they are talking about. First of all, the RDC is not supposed to get involved directly in politics. It's representing the president. Why should he get into politics? I'm not contested with him. He's not a woman. So I told people the same message, know your rights. After giving the speech, I gave money direct to the mother of Obore, and I left. I started receiving calls, how Chris quarreled for more than 1 hour, and people even left food. They could not eat, saying he's a German shepherd of Anita. He's ready to go and bite and then get back to Kampala. He went again following day to another burial in a place called Aligoi. He gave the same speech. He's ready to bite me and get back to Kampala. So what does biting mean? Of course, killing. He went to Aligoi sub-county. That's another sub-county in Kachumbala, where he made the same speech. That is a German shepherd of Anita, and he's ready to bite and go back to Kampala. So I received all those calls from people, being a darling of people. It took me a whole week. I was receiving calls from people concerning the same. So 4 days after the burial, I received a call. That day, I was not well. I was going to the hospital. I received a call. People were saying, are you the one? I said, I'm the one. We are told you're in prison. I said, over what? That they found ammunition in your home and you got arrested. So even your brother is on a run. I said, I'm okay, I'm safe. I received again calls from now Koliri. The same. The people were worried. Then I receive a call which tells me that I have met these people in the meeting planning how to put ammunition in your home. Now they are saying, is it Kumi or your home in Kachumbala where you're born? So I said, thank God that before they could do it, they are already being exposed. So what I have to tell you is that, and tell the whole nation, that there is a lot that is going on in Bukedea, and people have nowhere to run to. People have nowhere to report. There are so many things that have happened. Land being grabbed, like there is that land in Amujaju. Up to now, that case just went silent. The whole village was chased away. People were beaten. badly beaten, women raped. And people are homeless. They have nowhere to go. People are now suffering in towns, doing petty jobs to survive. And people have nowhere to run. Because even when you take your matter, in case your matter even goes up to court, even courts are given money. So in Bukedea, there is no justice. We are not far from Amin's regime in Bukedea. And I always sit down and say, is the president knowing, is he aware of what is happening in Bukedea? The President Museveni, I know, is one president from the time I grew up and became a knowledgeable person. Is the only president who has stood for the rights of the women. Is the only one. He broke a record. But we are wondering why women in Bukedea are suffering, are being oppressed. What is happening? What is happening? I am NRM cadre. I went for cadreship training when the president had just come into power. That was in '86. And I was only 16 years. We preached about the 10 points program, which was written by the president himself. And the first item in the 10 points program is democracy. But there is no democracy in Bukedea. No democracy. It is so painful. I preached the 10 points program. I worked with the late Kamachirere in Ikumi. I worked as NRM cadre. And that was the time of insurgency in Teso. Being a young girl, I was the one being used to penetrate even the camps of the rebel, to go and talk to those people, to embrace NRM government. One time I was going to be shot by Umaro Kodel, the late. I just had to raise my hands and knelt down. I told him, Papa, let's embrace this government. By then, we had nothing like elections because the government had just been conquered. I told him it's an interim government. We are going to enter into the time of elections where we shall elect the leaders we want. But this government has come with the gospel of peace. Let's embrace it. Come out of rebellism. 3 days later, Haji Umaro Kodel came and surrendered in the office of the RDC, Kamachirere. That is how he now got into the NRM system, and he became a LOC 5. He was the first one in Ikumi. By then, it was one district. Kumi and Bukedea was one district. But I'm wondering why all this is happening to me when I know about democracy. Why can't Anita allow other women also to express their constitutional rights? Fraudulently last time. This time again she's saying unopposed. And then they start planning for your life. So why I have come out openly to the public to know my life is in danger. I'm not a free woman. I'm not a free woman. Why? With all the money she has, with all the police, the forces she's having, why is she fearing to come and contest? Let her go to her people. That is where she's born. Why is she avoiding her people? And she wants to go unopposed, fraudulently, not even unopposed, but because people are not happy. People are asking, even those who are uneducated, they are asking why there was no election for women, and yet they were ready. When Olemukan died, the LOC 5, nobody again talks about it. The circumstances at which he died, I cannot conclude, but there are question marks. Because the RDC was LOC 5. So he contested. He left the position of RDC to contest against the sitting LOC 5. So the RDC won in the primaries using their ways. But people said no. How come? So the LOC 5, the late decided now to go as an independent. So the final elections, he won. So there is division now. These ones are for Olemukan, even if he's dead. These are for Olemukan, for Helen, and these are for Tuke, the RDC, and Anita. So that is how Bukedea is. But there are those who are on the side of the RDC, but they are opposing her. They are on my side. So after her seeing all that, the only thing is let's get rid of this woman. All those things happening to me, it's just because of seeing she has no ground at all. She has no ground. So the only thing is, let me go unopposed, using her Chiwani methods. We have all seen what happens, even these recent elections of LOC 5. We all see, the whole nation saw what happened. So that is her. So a lot is going on in Bukedea, a lot. You have nowhere to report. So in that burial of Chris Obore's sister, the RDC actually wanted the DPC to arrest me. But thank God, he's a very understanding man and reasonable. He couldn't. But he expected. So when the news reached her that, Bore is home, I was there, and this and that happened, I hear she was not happy with Obore. Said Obore connived with me. So I don't know how they now pleaded. Actually, when they were still on that, then these sanctions came in. Because according to the RDC, that day when he attacked me, abusing that I'm a Kisirani woman, they feel I'm being used by Honorable Kadaga to fight Anita. I've never met her. I just see her on screen. I don't know even her phone number. I don't know. I'm there as a person fighting for the rights of the people of Bukedea, but not being used as they think. Tomorrow they're attacking Kadaga, she's the one fighting her. Tomorrow they are saying Tayebwa, tomorrow they are saying this. But me as a person, I'm standing for the rights of the people of Bukedea. And I'm calling upon the President, Yoweri Museveni, the president I know, whom I stood for during the time of rebellism in Teso. My colleague, Mr. Okoche, we are located to handle the eastern part of Kumi, including Bukedea. By then it was not divided. He was killed by rebels in my presence. I was next to be killed. I took off. We were given new bicycles. I took off, I had packed my bicycle somewhere, and I jumped on the bicycle. They tried following me, they were shooting. I took off, and I survived. I'm the one who went and reported to Mr. Kamacherere that my colleague, Mr. Okoche, has been killed by the rebels. So I went through all that. That's why I'm calling upon His Excellency to look into the issues of Bukedea. It's too much. It's too much. One thing I have to inform the public is about my life, which is being threatened. I'm being told to ask myself where the late Olem Khan is, the LOC5. I was told to ask myself what happened to him and where he is now. And then I was also told that I will not reach 2025 when I'm alive. So I don't know why. Because I don't fight anyone. I'm a humble person who is down on earth to my family and to the people of Bukedea. So I don't know why I should be killed. I don't know why I should not reach 2025. So should anything happen to me, these people are answerable. Because saying that biting and go back to Parliament, go back to Kampala, what does that mean? And then how they were planning to put ammunition in my home and get arrested. What are they up to? Arresting me, and what happens when I'm arrested? All that takes me to think anything can happen to me even when I'm in prisons. I can be killed because for them, whoever contests with them becomes a candidate of death. So even my brothers are not safe. As we talk right now, even my mother is not at home. She feared. She said, I will be slaughtered. Because Omagoro's mother, David Omagoro, who contested also that time, and again contested for LOC5, his mother was slaughtered. So my mom saying, my daughter, I'm not safe. She took off 2-3 years now, she's not staying home. From the time they blocked my nominations, she took off. I'm sick now. They put her down. So that is the life we are living. You cannot be sure of a person next to you. You can't. So that's my story.